So today's video is all about concealer. So I'm going to be covering all the different types of concealers. So if you're struggling with any aspect of concealer, how to apply it, what kind to use, and which one is best for your skin type, then go ahead and grab your makeup and let's get into the video. So before you apply concealer, you definitely want to understand the different types of concealers and what they're used for, because there's so many different types of concealers and they can be used for different things, and also they're different concealers for different skin types. So cream concealers are usually used to cover up discoloration around your face area. So if you have acne or you have any dark marks on your skin that you want to cover up, that you need extra coverage, then you definitely want to opt for a cream concealer. They usually have a thick and creamy consistency, so they're perfect to really hide any darkness. Even if you have like darkness under your eyes, they're perfect to hide any type of darkness on your skin. So cream concealers typically come in a contour palette, or they just come in individual concealers. This is the e.l.f. cream contour palette. It comes in different shades. I love using this contour palette because there's so many different shades, so you can mix the shades for whatever you need to really get that perfect color for your skin. Or you can just opt for a concealer itself. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. It's a full coverage concealer, so it's great if you have a lot of darkness, a lot of discoloration. It helps to cover up those things on your skin. So typically cream concealers are not the best types of concealers to use, especially if you get a lot of creasing under your eyes, because they have a thick formula, and when they settle inside your creases, they tend to not move. So typically with cream concealers, I like applying it on the skin, and I like to let it settle on my skin for a little bit so that it can get tacky. This is going to allow the concealer to get that coverage, so it covers up everything. And then once it settles on the skin, I like to go in with a beauty sponge and just absorb all those excess oils and excess product from the skin to make sure that it's not just sitting on top of your skin. But if you're somebody who has larger areas on your skin that need to be covered up, such as like your mouth area might be a little bit darker than your natural skin, or maybe you have like a big patch of darkness on your skin, then color correctors are the best types of concealers to use to cover up those darkness. So there's so many different types of color correctors out there, but the common color corrector for deeper skin tones is this orange shade right here. You want to use an orange concealer if you have a deeper or darker skin tone and you have darkness that you're trying to cover up. But if you have a lighter skin tone, so fair to medium, then you definitely want to use a peach corrector to cover up darkness. Now, color correctors can come in cream formulations as well, but I'm gonna be using this LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is a liquid formulation that works really well to cover up darkness. Now with these types of concealers, you definitely want to use them before your foundation to cover up the darkness, and then add a layer or two of foundation on top of it. You don't want to apply it on top of your foundation because you're going to be able to see that orange or peach color. So I'm going to use the orange corrector because I am of a deeper skin tone and I have a little bit of darkness around my mouth area, which is where I usually use the color corrector. So I like to apply a very small amount around the areas that I have darkness. Now, a common mistake people make is that they put too much, and sometimes you can be able to see the color corrector underneath the foundation, so you don't want that. So I usually place a small amount like this and go in with the beauty sponge and just make sure to blend that out. Then you can go ahead and add more where you need it and just build the coverage as you go. So the reason why you want to use an orange corrector to cover up darkness is because the color orange helps to cancel out darkness. So after applying the corrector, then you want to go in with foundation and you want to apply that around the area that you applied the corrector. Now if you're going in with more of a light coverage foundation, then you definitely want to apply less color corrector. So I'm going in with like a medium to full coverage foundation, and you just want to blend that out. And the reason why I like using a sponge is because it helps to really place the foundation on your skin without moving the corrector. As you can see, the darkness is completely covered up on my skin, but you don't see any of that orange corrector. Another type of concealer is liquid concealers. So they have a liquid consistency compared to cream concealers. They're more watery because they have a lot more hydrating properties. A really good liquid concealer is this NYX Bare With Me concealer. So this is a serum concealer. It's very lightweight. Another good liquid concealer is the Kosas Revealer Concealer. So this one is a lightweight formula. It also is a liquid concealer, but this one gives you a little less coverage, so it's perfect if you're going for more of a natural look. So with these types of concealers, I like placing them at the back of my hand and using a sponge to pick it up. I feel like doing this really helps to evenly apply the concealer under the eyes. And this concealer is medium to full coverage. Even though it claims to be a lightweight concealer, I feel like it gives more coverage. And immediately I like to blend out the concealer. These types of concealers are great for people who struggle with creasing under their eyes. A lot of times creasing under the eyes is caused from your under eyes being dry. So using a lightweight concealer that is moisturizing and hydrating is going to leave your under eyes feeling very plump and just preventing your under eyes from being dry and wrinkly. Essentially preventing your under eyes from being dry with the makeup. Also, lightweight concealers tend to move around more. So before setting it, if you blend out the concealer, then immediately place the powder underneath, it's going to move around, and then once you set it, it doesn't move. So that's why lightweight concealers are the best if you don't want any creasing under your eyes or any cakeyness. So while applying the concealer, I like to focus the majority of the product on the inner portion of the eye because that is the area of the skin that tends to be the darkest, instead of dragging it all the way out here. This is really the area of your skin that needs more coverage. Now, the way you set your skin and the type of setting powder that you use is literally what determines if your concealer is going to cake up on you or crease on you. You want to make sure that you're pairing up the correct concealer and setting powder. So if you're using a lightweight concealer such as the Kosas concealer, then you definitely want to pair it with a powder that is lightweight as well, such as the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder. These two can go perfectly together because they really help to build the coverage under your eyes without caking it up because they're two lightweight products. But if you're going to use a thick creamy concealer such as the NARS Complete Concealer, which is a full coverage concealer, you don't want to use a setting powder that is too mattifying under your eyes because this is already a matte product. For instance, you don't want to go in with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD powder if you're going to use the NARS concealer because these two products together can cause your under eyes to feel extremely dry, eventually caking up. So instead, if you're going to use a thick creamy concealer that has a matte finish, you want to opt for a lightweight hydrating powder such as the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. This is in the shade Honey that I use. These two pair up well together because this is a mattifying product and this is a hydrating product. So it's not going to leave your under eyes dry. So because I use the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum, I'm going to go in with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Mattifying Powder. Now this is not a setting powder, but it's a lightweight mattifying powder that is really going to help absorb the excess oils from the concealer. And because this is a hydrating product, it's okay for me to use a mattifying powder. First, before using setting powder, I always use the sponge that I used to blend out the concealer, and I literally just like to go over those creases to make sure that they're completely blended. And because I use a liquid concealer, it's easy for me to blend out the creases. So I like to go in with a little bit of that powder and use a brush, and I literally just like to press that right underneath my eyes. And this is literally gonna set that concealer in place so it doesn't move, but it's not gonna cake up under my eyes because this is a lightweight powder. So I like to just do the same thing for this eye, making sure to really get rid of those creases and use the powder to set underneath your eyes. And as you can see, this gives me a really nice smooth under eye. You don't see any creases under my eyes because we've completely blended it out. And my under eyes don't feel dry, and neither do they look cakey. So after learning how to apply concealer and learning how to set it, you want to learn how to apply blush and bronzer. That's why you have to watch this video, because this video is a very detailed blush and bronzer tutorial that will help you learn how to apply each.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.